was having such bad panic and anxiety attacks to the point where I felt like I was drowning. I think it was in June or July. I was just like, I have to do something about this because otherwise, if I don't, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. And I don't want to be in a spot where I feel like suicidal or feel like life's not worth living. And that's when something just like switched in me saying, I have to do something about this. And that's when I came across this wonderful program.
I know that, Chad, I mean, you've been incredibly dutiful and 10 out of 10, incredibly supportive through all of this. It's been really amazing. And you were there even as she was going through the program more than a lot of partners would, which is really, really awesome. I'm curious, like for you, what were you seeing? What were you feeling, as Julie was obviously going through what she was going through?
I guess what I was feeling was just really sad that I was watching her go through this and I was trying to help her any way I could and like nothing seemed to be working. And that was really hard, see her go through that. So that was kind of the hardest thing was watching her go through all of it and like you're trying to comfort her and trying to help her through it, but it's just nothing was really concrete working. So that's why this course kind of really helped her be able to handle it and I was able to like help her through it. It helped me learn some things to help her get through it too.
Because you guys run a business together, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
What was happening with the business? Was it you like having to flake on clients or what was going on?
Well, yeah, I have to reschedule a lot. So that's kind of the biggest one. And like, oh, well, I'll have to like come back in a couple hours and take care of it then.
Or like Chad would
Have to
do
go
with
do
it.
it, yeah, at the same time.
Yeah, well, I couldn't be involved.
So then take on some of the work that she would be doing. And so I'd be kind of doing her job and my job at the same time.
So like when it came to work or sometimes if we had plans and or like being with the kids and stuff, there's times where I just couldn't handle it and had to ask my husband to turn us around back home, to go back home, to literally go lay in bed because I'd curl up in a ball and start like hyperventilating and crying and just getting all freaked out and scared and it interfere with our work and it interfere with plans to like go back to home as like the safe place.
So you guys have, remind me, how many kids do you guys have? Two?
Two.
Yeah.
Two. Okay, gotcha. And were the kids like noticing anything?
Our younger daughter, no, because she's only a year and a half. But our oldest daughter, she's 7, and she noticed. And
have plans to go do things, and then you have to change those plans, turn around, go home, have to, go to the hospital and instead of going and like say go to, there's a place called Neb's Fun World in Oshawa. And so that's where we'd say, oh, we're going to go there, after school. And then we'd pick her up and then I'd have to take Julie to the hospital because we thought something was going on. And then she would kind of like, she'd understand, but she was very like
sad. And then there's times where like when I was in like a really bad like episode and I'd be crying and hyperventilating, Gracie would come up to me and she'd start hugging me and telling me things are going to be okay. So that would make me feel like a little better being like, she's trying to comfort me, even though she doesn't really understand. Like she understands, but not entirely what's going on.
Because I'm sure you told me months ago, but were you using anything like coping mechanisms or anything like that just to try to like have normalcy at all?
So I definitely tried the breathing technique, like the in for 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, out for 4 seconds type thing. I definitely tried to do the like exercise thing. I definitely tried to do the cold shower thing. Every time I was having a panic attack, immediately jump in the shower, freezing cold water, and trying to do grounding with like putting my feet on the grass and just like trying to like inhale nature and like try to focus on like the birds and the trees and all that stuff. I did a little bit of therapy years ago, but I felt like it was very broad. It didn't really give any like really useful techniques. It was just very surface level. So I stopped going to it because I was getting more support and mental health like help from Chad than it was from like the therapy. So and then it got to the point where, as I said earlier this year, like I came across this program and it sounded extremely promising and I was really interested in it. And I said, this is what I want to do.
What were you concerned of before you decided that you were going to work with me? What were any doubts or concerns you had?
The main concern was I was worried if it was going to be a scam, but then I read the reviews, and someone random actually messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, if you're not feeling all right, that's okay. This is a safe space where it's okay to not be okay. And this guy, Ty Hicks, does this really good program, all the, blah, 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 stuff like that. And then that's when I looked it up on Facebook and I'm like, okay, is everything seems legit, everything seems nice. And I was looking at some of the videos and stuff, and this seemed very helpful and useful. And lots of people were saying positive things about it. So that made me feel like reassured that it was the real deal.
Did you have concerns too, Chad? Because obviously you care about Julie a lot. You wanted to make sure, I'm sure she didn't get involved in the
I
wrong
guess
thing.
my main concern was that it wasn't just someone that was going to say, oh, how was your day? Oh, that's tough. You'll get through it. And then the next day it's the same thing, or the next week or whatever, right? I didn't want her just to be kind of like, just pushed through, just to make money off type thing, right? Because there's a lot of people like that out there. I'm very religious in the sense of I really believe in the Lord and he's my savior and everything. And the person that just came out of the blue for Julie, it just seemed like, in my belief anyways, that God put that person there and directed Julie to you and helped kind of put things at ease, knowing that you weren't just going to put her through the gears, that you're like, there's no bullshit. We're right down to the point getting you fixed, right?
How was what we did different? How was the process? How did that compare to what you had done before?
Towards the end of this program, I feel like I can go through my day to day without having all those like crushing intrusive thoughts like, oh, what if this, or you're this, or you're that, or what if that. Where before that was drowning me. And then with this program, I understood that that was just, my brain in default. And now with retraining, the way my brain works is I'm able to like silence those intrusive thoughts and focus on the positivity. It was very straightforward and it was very like clear, like very clear instructions.
So let's talk about where things are at now, right? Are there changes that are taking place now as opposed to a couple months? Like, do you feel like business is different and those types of things?
Yes, I definitely feel that business is better because I feel like there's less interruptions from my past anxiety. And I feel like we can go out further without me having to think about turning around or going to a hospital from like having a panic attack or something, and being able to be out for longer without being worried. I feel happier where I feel like I'm not asking Chad a million questions of reassurance every day. But our relationship has been really strong, and I feel like even going through this program together, like it's even stronger because he got to like help me in a way where it's like almost like help me become a better person. So I like, really appreciate that, and I feel like it's a big relief for him too.
How do you feel, Chad? How do you feel now as opposed to a couple of months ago?
Well, I just feel happy to see her happy, where she's not so focused on being certain about her health. That's a huge one. Kind of just seeing her happy and smile every day is that's literally makes my day.
My kids are not as tense. I feel like they're more relaxed because I'm more relaxed. So their behavior kind of mirrors the way I am. So if I'm tense and something's wrong, especially like my older daughter, Gracie, I could tell she gets tense and upset. Where now she's more relaxed because she's seeing me being happy, and then she's more happy, and we can interact more and like play more because I'm not focusing on the negativity or the anxiety.
Anything else that you now are doing or you're looking forward to doing that you felt like you couldn't do before?
Well, I feel like we're able to travel probably. So like we did go down to North Carolina, and coming up to it, for months I believed I couldn't do it. And I remember we went like maybe halfway through the program, and literally probably because of the program helped me like build up the courage to be able to go do a 16-hour drive, because I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. And there was some like, bumpy times, but focusing on the things I was learning really helped me like get through it. I feel like before I started this program, I was terrified every day. I woke up terrified, went to bed terrified. I was just anxious, and had this like fear that something bad was going to happen all the time. And I had this fear of like losing control mentally. After learning the techniques and strategies through this program, it helped me build my self-confidence where I'm able to accept the things that I cannot change, and to just focus on the positivity and focus on the things that aren't going to bring me backwards. So I feel like a lot more confident. I just feel that I can just be myself more. And it kind of reminds me of like before I got really bad, where I know I can't be exactly like how I was like 10 years ago, but everyone changes, times change, but I feel like I can actually be calm and socialize and interact with people and do things better without having that crippling health anxiety. It's really good to feel like, to have that power back, to have that confidence, that like brightness back, to have that life back.
Of course, I'm proud of her. She's really come a long way. I tell her that all the time. Like, look where you were before you started and look where you are now. Like, you have so much confidence in yourself.
You guys are an inspiration, and now you've helped change even more lives of people that you'll never even meet yet just by sharing a little bit of your story. So we're very thankful for you guys taking some time to do that. Congratulations on all your progress, and reach out anytime, okay? It's not goodbye, just see you later. Keep us updated on how things go.
Yes. So thank you so much.
Thank you.